All right, quick little video, just since I didn't see one online for it. Um, so got an Illinois Duo. This is like hopefully a better picking version of it, because the other one I had, let's see, right here is the silver key version, which notoriously is, really rough on the inside. These wafers, I think, just rumor has it they were cut on a machine that wasn't sharp enough or whatever, so the wafers kind of got a little rough edges or bent. They kind of stick to each other when they're sliding, so a lot more difficult to pick. So I got another one, and this format, there was nothing keeping it on. So this housing just slides right on and right off, because it didn't come with any sort of like tailpiece. And so it's all these wafers are essentially held together by this key being in here. Whenever everything is assembled, all the wafers are held in nicely. And then this sliding off is no big deal because the key's in there. Well, if the key is not in there and this slides off, then they kind of explode, which is partly what happened to me. So I've got some sets of these wafers in various states of reassembly. Firstly, I'll show you these wafers as they're, you may have seen these before. For me, I was trying to figure out, how these go back together. Bit of trial and error with the position of them and using the key, reinserting, see if everything lines up. Here, I'll put these in. Well, first I'll show, I guess. So the shapes on these, you want to line them up so that whenever the key is inserted, those inside shapes makes, you line up the inside shapes and make sure that these top edges match. And you can see that these little grooves, one is sticking out here, one's sticking out here on the other wafer. So when the spring is inserted, the spring sits right between those, and it's going to push them out to here. So they don't match up, when the spring is fully extended. And then under compression with the key in there, they slide and line up, kind of like that. So a bit of a trial and error trying to figure out where these go back inside, but I'm most of the way along now. So that one still needs a spring, but we'll go ahead and let's see, which way does it go? So I think these, I don't think it matters, but just for consistency, matching. It wasn't a full explosion. I had some that remained inside, so I'm just sort of trying to match. This first one, for example, the spring is still in there, you can see. So this left one needs to be pushed down. The right one is pushed up. So that's kind of, what I'm positioning for, like this, once the spring is in there. So I'll kind of show you how I've been handling these very tiny springs. So sort of just positioning it like I have here, where the spring, orient this plug so that the springs are on the top, and then there's a little channel right in there. And then if you push it to the side, I've got it, this whole plug is sort of angled up a little bit, kind of a weird camera angle for you to tell, but from the other side, just sort of hold it in place, and there it is. So now that spring is set. This one I need to reposition, because you can see this left wafer is protruding on this side, but then this one is flipped. So let's flip this one to match. So I kind of left this one in place here so that I can show you disassembly. I like to grab that spring first so it doesn't go launching anywhere. Set that down. And then just flip this order. Get that spring again. Oh, hang on. Get that out of the way. Form our, kind of get it positioned, ready for the spring. Now pick it up. Okay, good. Landed on the desk. These are very hard to hold. And they disappear. Check. It's up here. Okay, that one is back. Last one here. So I'll line those little notches, ready for that spring to slide in there. Okay, so that looks good to me. So let me make sure that they all line up with the key. Let's see. Which way? Visually looks good. And yeah, that is actually it. So this housing can just slide right on, and then I'll figure out some sort of makeshift tailpiece so this does not happen again. But that's reassembly, so good luck.